Hey, hey, hey. We're back at it. Another episode. What episode is this? We always forget.
I don't know.
This is 7.
7?
I think 7.
Okay.
Episode 7. Big 7. What the fuck is 7 on?
I don't know.
Anyways, welcome back. Let's get straight into it. We played Houston this past weekend, so start us off.
Win.
All I do is win. Well, not all.
No. But we won 19-0.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was like the best game so far for us. And also, at least
I would
offense.
say, yeah, for defense, not.
But I feel also like we finally had some fun
Yeah.
playing on
Yeah.
offense.
Yeah.
Like, we've had some rough games.
Right.
So we definitely needed this being the last regular season game. I love that we could end it.
Yeah.
Kind of
a
on
good
top.
note. Yeah.
It was obviously fun playing our old team, our old teammates, and seeing them. And I mean, we feel bad that they haven't had the best season. So it's kind of you know when you like have friends, even though you're happy we're doing good, it still kind of sucks to see them struggling.
That's still your people,
Right.
But yeah, like you said, like I think we had more fun, but definitely for defense, like this wasn't our best game. Like we were letting in first downs and getting some penalties for like no reason. But at the end of the day, like they didn't score against us,
Right.
so it's still like good. Like I can't complain, but it's like we were on the field more than we wanted to, and this time usually it's because of offense. This time it was because of ourselves because we kept letting in first downs. But at least we didn't let them score. But yeah, it was just fun playing against your own people and like just saying hi to like Coach Soho even before the game and everything. Like it was nice to see them.
Yeah, I think this time for once, on offense we were able to keep y'all off the field a lot, keeping you rested, which is also like important, so we can save everybody's bodies and everything.
And especially this game, it was really hot. It was really hot. So
it was probably that was the hottest game we played so far this season. So that's pretty much our game this weekend. There's not really too much to say about it.
Other than we're going to playoffs, but we'll talk about it more later.
This was our last regular season game. So next weekend or this weekend coming up, we don't have a game. We have 2 bye weeks now, and then playoffs. Then there was some other game this week, and one of them was Denver, Mississippi. And they played, I think they played in Mississippi. Yeah, they did. Mississippi had a home game.
Yeah.
And that game ended 0-18 to Mississippi. So did you think that was how it's going to go?
Honestly, yeah. Like I'm not surprised about the score. I don't really got much to say about it, honestly.
No,
like,
I think
we
we
expected that.
I think that's what we expected.
Yeah.
That was the same result as when Mississippi played Houston. And it kind of makes sense because Denver and Houston had a close game.
Yeah.
It was just 1 touchdown difference. So I kind of expected it.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that for us because we had a close game with Mississippi. So
yeah, I mean, Denver put nothing on them. We put 25.
Right.
So that's good for us. Then Atlanta and Washington was supposed to play each other, but because, I guess, weather, they had to cancel the game. So we're still figuring out what happens to that, but we're going to add a little segment later on where we talked about it once we figured it out. But technically, it's 0-0 now. So and the thing is, like, they're ranked 4th and 5th, and we're 6th. So it could end up.
Yeah, and it's weird because our game, I don't know if we haven't talked about this, but in our league, games are not allowed to end as a tie. So that's why we kind of don't know what happens with that.
Yeah.
And then another game was Seattle versus Vegas, and that ended up Seattle won with 43-28. And that was just like interesting because Seattle is ranked 8 or were before this weekend 8, and Vegas was 9.
Yeah.
So Vegas could have, if they would have beat them, they could have possibly get the last playoff spot.
I'm a little surprised that Seattle put 43 on them. Yeah, that's a lot of points. Like, that's some good offense.
I feel like just looking at the score, this was probably an offensive game because 28 is a lot, too.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So in total, it was like over 60 points.
Yeah,
like
we don't know if that was, some of it was from defense, but still, that's still a lot of scores. So,
yeah,
that's pretty good for, like, and also, like, 43 on somebody that's 1 below you is, like, is pretty good.
Right.
And the rest weren't that interesting.
So actually tonight when we record this, there is the playoff ranking live, and where everybody gets to see what team goes to which playoff city and who's playing who. And I would have thought that if that's why we're kind of also confused what happens with the Atlanta Washington, because I think if they would have played it, we might have been moved up to 5. Now I do think we're gonna stay number 6.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna go to Mississippi and play Mississippi in the first round.
Yeah. We're kind of expecting that to be the case. Yeah. But let's move on to the segment of filming afterwards. So, here we go. All right. Excuse the look. We're just filming this quickly after I just came back from the gym.
So, we ended up being ranked number 6 overall. Ended up being number 4th ranked in the Eastern Conference playoffs.
So, we're going to Mississippi, and we're playing in Mississippi on June 6th because they're the number 1 in Eastern Conference. And then Atlanta is playing Washington. Yep. And then in Vegas, Texas is playing Seattle. And San Diego is playing Denver.
So we'll play all these games on the 6th, and whoever wins that will play against each other on the 8th, and that will determine who makes the championship game.
All right, so we're back. So last week we were talking about the whole like import thing and playing internationally and like generally how it works, and then we said that we were going to get more into like our deals and how everything worked out for us. So today we're just gonna explain like our first international year. So when Ida came to Finland and when I went to Sweden, how that worked. They were very different scenarios, but also very different from how we've handled the rest of like when we came to States and Spain and everything. So do you want to start off with explaining how you ended up in Finland?
Yeah. So I went and played in Finland for the season 2017. So it is for 5, 6, 7 years ago. Quick maths.
It's almost our 7th best friend anniversary.
Yeah.
June 10th.
Mm-hmm. So back then I didn't know anything about playing abroad as an international. It wasn't a thing. I remember that had heard of like 2 players before me that had played abroad because they moved for other stuff. At that point, Germany was actually they had a lot of really good teams, and then Finland.
Yeah.
So what I did back then, you didn't really have like social media wasn't the way it is today, where you can kind of expose yourself on social media, put your stuff out there, coaches, players see it, and then also team weren't recruiting.
They wasn't scouting like that at all.
So I had to reach out to the teams. I did have like a highlight and all that. So I sent that to some teams in Germany and then some teams in Finland. One of them being Helsinki Roosters. So during the fall, before the season, I was talking to different teams. But then we always play with the national team. We always play a game every fall against Finland. Yeah,
it's annual.
Right. And in 2016, it was our turn to go to Finland. So I'd been talking to the head coach and the offensive coordinator for the Helsinki Roosters. So when we went there, I met them after the game and kind of talked to them a little bit. And they had been there to watch me play as well. So they saw me play. And then they invited me over to come try out in December. So I decided to go there, decided to sign. Back then, there was absolutely no money.
Yeah.
Like, teams didn't have any money. So what they did was they helped me find an apartment and they helped me actually get a job. So for the season when I moved there, I had my own apartment. And then I worked at a Swedish-speaking daycare.
Yeah, you had the advantage of, because Swedish is the second language in Finland, so it was easy for you to come in and find actually a job.
Right. So that's kind of just what I did. It definitely made me feel like I didn't want to have kids. So, you know, one thing that helped.
Helped in other aspects too.
Other people's kids can sometimes be a lot. But yeah, but honestly, that year to this day is one of the best years I've ever had.
No, the way we still keep talking about shit that happened in 2017, like that was, first of all, our first year being friends, so our 7th best friend anniversary is coming June 10th. That's what we count as our best friend anniversary because that's when we first hung out.
Yeah.
But no, that year, like, there's so many good memories, to this day, that are just like our best memories.
And I think the team that we had so we had a really good, we went undefeated throughout the entire season until the championship game. So I think like all of that too, like I came to this team and it was a great vibe all throughout the team. We were all hanging out. We did so much together as a team. We were always hanging out, doing things. And then, you know,
good time.
winning,
And it was just a nice summer. Like, the weather was nice. We was doing so much shit.
And it was interesting because we didn't, like, really hang out at first.
No.
It took a long time. Because I moved there at the end of January.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, when we started hanging out, it was, like, June.
Yeah.
So also in Finland, because now here our seasons are kind of short. Mm-hmm. That year our seasons were long because we started playing.
Yeah, it still is in Finland. It's from like May to September.
Right, because you have, and then you have like a
August,
summer break. Because I know you guys went to play the Worlds.
Yeah, so you have a summer break if there is a tournament. Yeah.
So that year in 2017, we played. I think our season started in April something. May. Yeah. We played, and then we had a break because it was the Women's World Championship, and Finland was a part of that.
Yeah, we had like a 3-week break because we were in Canada for 2 weeks.
Right, and I know for that I went back home to Sweden, spent some time back home, and then came back. So that was kind of basically it. And then after this, so during that year, it was actually a couple weeks before our season opener. I, at a practice, tore my knee up. So I played the whole season, but then after, so my plan was that I was going to come back to Helsinki in 2018, but because of that I had to have like reconstruction surgery and I couldn't go back. So that was kind of, you know, it sucked because I really, to this day, Helsinki is still like a second home to me, and it's weird. I only spent 1 season there, but I felt so at home.
It's crazy because you literally like live close to where I still live back home. So like I'd be driving past your old apartment all the time and I'm like, oh my God.
But I'm so glad I did that. That was like an amazing experience for me. Just seeing that it is possible to go do that. And then it's funny now, or not funny, but it's just like so nice to see how it's changed. The way that, you know, I went as an international player then compared to how we do it now.
And the thing is, like, also, it was your first year, so it still kind of works like that for other players, too. First years, like, you might have to, you know, or you probably should put a highlight together and start reaching out to teams. Like, it's still not, like, you just get scouted. Like, no, do that as well. But it's just, like we kind of said last time, like, it's also if you've been doing it for a couple of years, like, it starts being different when people start reaching out to you more than you have to reach out to them. But it's just, like, fun looking back into more so, like, how nobody was recruiting that year. Like, it wasn't a thing. Like, international playing wasn't a thing. Like, there was some, like a Finnish player had played in the States and shit. But it wasn't a thing. Like, nobody knew about it for real.
Also, that gave me more opportunities. Because being in Finland, I met, you know, more players. So, even if, like, you go there, you're not going to get paid, whatever. But it will open more doors too. Like, we met,
connections.
And we met and we stayed together, and now we can do what we're doing or been doing for years. So that one thing, like, my first year wasn't all about like, oh, I'm gonna get paid, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get no.
It was a sacrifice you had to make.
It was, and but it was a step that opened doors to being able to be here today. So,
but that's kind of what we spoke. Also, like, your first year is like you have to make certain sacrifices. You had to get a job. You had to pay for your apartment. But now you don't. Because you made that sacrifice your first year.
So then after that, we didn't play in 2018. We both got fucked up our knees. And then 2019, you came for your first season playing abroad to Sweden, to Karlstad.
So in 2019, I went to Sweden. That was my first international year. I had just turned 18, and I was actually coming back from the injury because we were both injured in 2018. I was coming back from that injury, and then we had kind of spoke about like just for our idea, like, okay, like maybe I should come to Sweden so we could play together.
Because I had already signed that.
She was already set to play in Sweden, so she was like, maybe you could come here. And I kind of started thinking about it. I was like, oh, that could be fun. Like, maybe I could get something like that where they help me find an apartment. Maybe I could get a job, like an English-speaking job or something, like, in Sweden. So we kind of started, like, looking more into it. And so Ida started talking to the coaches there. And then we had the Finland-Sweden game. And I didn't play in it because I was still injured. But it was in Finland. So I got to meet the coaches. And so I spoke to he was the head coach and the OC at the time. So I spoke with him. And obviously, like, he had my film and everything.
He was the head coach, actually.
That year?
In 2018, because I was.
Oh, well, yeah, but he was. So So actually, I was speaking to the head coach, but you already knew you were going to be the head coach, right? The next year. But anyway, so I spoke with him, and he had already like got my film and everything. And then we kind of slowly started working from there, like just kind of figuring out how it would be possible for me to come. And then basically, eventually, they had figured out like, well, it was more like you had connections to the housing, but the team paid rent for it.
Yeah.
And so that was like one, like the team actually did give me housing, but it was because Ida came up with a connection. So again, it wasn't like the team had hella money, but it was the connection plus a little rent.
Right.
So they ended up offering me housing and a little bit of money. And again, the team didn't have the money. The team worked its way to find a sponsor who was able to give them money to give me so that I could pay for my flights and my food.
And that's an interesting thing. We mentioned that last time. Like, you don't have to have money as a team.
No.
But you got, as long as you're willing to find somebody else
who can
pay.
You gotta be willing to put in the work to talk to companies who can give you the money. Because Crusaders didn't have the money, but they had the connections. They asked for a sponsor to pay me, and they did. So they were able to actually pay for my flights and like my food and stuff. But then I ended up getting injured again, or like my comeback was like I had a setback in my comeback, so I wasn't going to be able to go in March, which is when I was supposed to, because the season started in April, right?
Yeah.
So I was pushed back by like 3 months almost. So I was like, the way I was like, how the fuck am I going to tell them that I can't play, because I'm going to miss like half the season? And I was
That's
like,
the biggest, scariest thing as an athlete, when you have to tell them.
Yeah. And I was devastated, because I was literally, I had been in such a like low, first getting injured, then high, like, bro, I'm getting paid to play football. Like, my first international year, like, this is like something that you don't even fucking dream of as a woman. And I've been offered this, and now I did some stupid shit and went to run earlier than what I was supposed to. Like, keep in mind, I was 17 at this point, okay? I hadn't even turned 18 yet. Like, I was a child. I was doing, like, I was just pushing it, because I was so excited to go to Sweden. I was like, I need to get back on the field. So anyway, so it got pushed back, and I was like, shit. Like, I really fucked myself up. And that's when I realized I need to take my shit seriously if I ever get injured again. And since then, I have. Because
I feel like that's another topic, but just quick. Like, that's the biggest reason you need trainers and coaches. You need somebody to hold you back.
Yeah.
Because being, like, injured as an athlete, you're going to push
Even if you know what you're supposed to and what you're not supposed
you're not gonna
to
do
it. At the end of the day, you just want to get better.
Right.
And when it's about you, like, I could tell you how to get better, or, like, what you're supposed to do. But I can't control myself. No, I'm going to start pushing it.
That's what we be doing, though.
Yeah, exactly.
We be telling each other,
keeping
like,
each other in check.
Stop.
Just
like, the other day at the gym, I came up to her. She said,
why?
Why?
Just why? And I was like, no, it actually feels good. Trust me. Yeah, so that was like, I was devastated. And then I reached out to the coach, and I was like, so this happened. And he ended up actually saying, like, okay, just let me know when you're ready. And if you're ready by, like, before the season ends, like, we'll bring you here for the last games. However many games you can come here for, like, you still have the deal.
Right.
And bro, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no fucking way. So,
because in Sweden, it's as long as you're on the sideline at least for one regular season game, you can play in the playoffs.
Right. And that's the thing in like most league, and that's the thing in Finland as well. But I didn't think that they were willing to put the money in for somebody to only come for the last few games. Like, I thought they would have went and found somebody else if they needed the help and they had the money. So to have heard that, I was like, oh, thank God. And that's when I started taking my rehab, like, very seriously. I was like, okay, let me not play with this shit again. Like, so then I ended up going there for the end of the season, and yeah, my situation was really good. The housing and everything. And then we lived like 2-3 blocks away from each other. So I could just like walk to your place and everything. And I was only there for like, a month and a half, 2 months or something. But we won the Swedish championship and everything. So, you know, together. And that was also like crazy because we had lost the championship in 2017. Yeah. Neither one of us played in 2018 because of our knee injuries. And then coming back, having went through all of that, to winning the championship in 2019 in Sweden, bro, we was crying.
And that was also both of us ever winning like a championship as players, like
in women's.
Yeah. So that was
That's it.
Nah, we was crying.
No, bro. It was also because we were both on the field. I think we were on defense. We were both on because we both played both ways. But we were on the field when the whistle blew, and there's a picture of us, and we're literally both just like fucking crying. I think you were like holding your knees and shit, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Nah, that was...
And I think it made it extra special just because both of us were coming back from
it was, yeah, it was the backstory. Like, it wasn't just, like, oh, winning a championship, but it was the whole, like, oh, we went undefeated, and then we lost in championship game because our team just wasn't locked in for real. That was why we lost in 2017. Our team just wasn't locked in because we had been undefeated.
We had beat them twice in the regular season.
Yeah, by a lot, too.
Yeah.
And then, that was just... Don't ever underestimate a team. But, yeah, and then having gone through... everything that we went through in 2018 with our injuries, like, to coming back.
And there's just something that has changed that we can see a big change for us, like, when we talk to teams now compared to when we did. Like I mentioned earlier, just being able to put yourself out there on social media, for example, because you, like we said, we did put together highlights. I emailed them. Ain't nowhere for me to put them out there because... like, there was not going to be any... if I posted it on Instagram, no coaches were going to see that because they didn't do that. Like,
scouting.
Right, at that point. I think it was honestly after... maybe I would say, like, 2017, 18, 19 was when I started realizing, you know, you need to put shit on social media. And also social media got bigger.
But, yeah, it's definitely... and, like, even... like, when you reach out to teams, like, you do still have to send a link to your highlights. But if they can see your page that, like, oh, you have all these highlights and you have, like, you know, and it's not even about, like, if you, like, reach out to a team, but just when you're posting a lot of football stuff, that's how you get seen. So teams that you're not even reaching out to will see you. Because, like, we get reached out to by teams and by just random players and coaches just because they see us on social media and then started to like scout us. So that's also like what we talked about in the episode where we talked about the whole social media thing. Like, it's not also just getting women's football out there, even though that's like the biggest deal, but if you want to play internationally, if you want to like get paid, if you want all this shit, like, you have to be on social media to use it as your own brand. You don't have to post your shit, because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like posting about my life. You don't have to post about your life, but your career, like, you have to treat it like it's your brand. Like, you have to post about yourself as a football player. Post your highlights. Post the teams that you played for, your stats, all this shit. So when people, like, see that, they can actually scout you. It doesn't have to be about your life.
Right. And then also something that we get, too, is when... and that's the importance of supporting each other. And I think our team is doing that, like, really well here in Houston as well. We were all so supportive. It's, like, sharing each other's highlights. Because every week when people are posting, like, our team might post about one of our players' highlights, we're all reposting that. Because what's going to end up happening is there might be somebody that sees that on my social media and reaches out to me, like, hey, who is that? I want her on my team. Like, we can open up opportunities for each other.
And also, like, what we were talking about, like, oh, if you don't really know what to post and you don't really have your own highlights, repost your teammates, repost other people. Like, you don't even necessarily have to post your own shit to get women's football seen. You could literally just repost the league post, your team post, your teammates. Like, you can literally just repost stuff. But also that way you are opening the doors to other people as well, which we want that. Like, even though we are competitors, but we are still also, everybody is a team. But, like, definitely start treating social media as your platform to sell yourself, because at the end of the day, if you're an athlete and you're trying to do something with your career, like, that is your brand. Like, that is your business. Like, you have to put yourself out there, and it's a lot easier for coaches and teams to scout you if you are on social media, because us women, like, we don't have the recognition and we don't have the platforms where coaches would know about you just because they know about you. Like, there's no platform where we have a list of the best players type shit. Like, no, they'll see you on, you know, if the league posts you or if you post yourself. So that's definitely also changed, because like you said, back when we first went international, like, that wasn't a thing. But I would say nowadays, our social media has opened so many doors, and I think we've got a lot more interest from teams, coaches, players, just because they've come to, like, they seen our page and that's how they got interested, and then they start watching our highlights, and then they're like, oh, they can actually maybe kind of do something.
Right.
And
Maybe.
maybe. And that's when they reach out, and then we have a
Right.
meeting and stuff.
Yeah.
So that definitely like plays a huge part in as well. So
It does.
don't underestimate social media's power
Right.
in like recruiting and scouting and all of that. But that's kind of like how our first international deals
Right.
were and how they happened. So like we said earlier, like your first year is like, I got lucky. I didn't have to pay for shit and I actually got money.
Right.
But like, that's not how it normally
Right, and
works.
that's what we want to also kind of point out, that even though right now where we are, it might look like easy
Mm-hmm.
and people are like, oh, you're not doing the work. We do behind the stage still.
Yeah.
But we've been there, like
Mm-hmm.
where if you're a player who hasn't played internationally, like, damn, like, why can't I do whatever
Yeah.
they do or what? We started there as well.
Yeah.
It's been, like I said, it's been 7 years of this.
Yeah.
I worked for 7 years more
Right.
to get to where I
Yeah.
am here now. Even if you get an offer, even if it's not the best offer, still take it.
No,
Like,
that's
it
the
might still lead
sacrifices you
somewhere.
have to make.
Right.
Yeah. Like, you have to take a chance on yourself. Like, you have to invest in yourself
Right.
before anybody else is going to invest
Right.
in you.
You got money. Somebody sent her money.
I got $30 to buy something for 25. I just made 5 and I didn't even lie.
Okay.
So next up we technically have 2 threads. So the first one, go
All right.
ahead, explain yourself.
So the first one is tattoos that are a red flag.
Okay.
Because listen.
Okay. Never did
The
something.
first one is my ex had Mama's Boy tattooed across his chest.
Across it. Okay. See,
Mama's
it's one
boy.
thing if it's like you know, like right here, like it's just like a little joke.
But why you gotta tattoo Mama's Boy?
Across your chest.
Also, like, we love a guy that has a good relationship with, you know, his mom.
But Mama's
But
boy
Mama's
is,
Boy is
no,
a different level.
That means
Nobody, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
nobody wants a Mama's Boy.
no. I want to date somebody who has a good relationship and respects their parents and everything.
Right.
But Mama's Boy doesn't mean you respect your mom.
No.
Mama's Boy means that y'all do not have boundaries.
It means that when you go there and you spend the night, you still sleep in her bed.
Yeah.
No,
It means
don't
that
do
your
that.
mom literally tells you what to do every day.
Right.
It literally means you're going to cancel our date because your mom wants to go on a date with you. Like, that's...
Been there, done that.
Yeah, you have.
Another tattoo that's a red flag. Portrait of anyone's face.
Hell no.
Unless it's like your dog, maybe.
Yeah, dog, but like person, because
But,
I'm not
okay,
even doing that
so what
for
about
my
your
kids.
kid's face?
Yeah, but I could do my kids' names, but face, like, they don't even look like that in 2 days.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like the way that tattoo artist has to be so good for it to look like...
Yeah, first of all, that is a risky ass shit. Like,
It is.
that's some risky ass shit to tattoo anybody's
It's
portrait.
gonna come out looking like the Grinch.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. But also, like, if you were to tattoo somebody's face, like, it would have to be, like, your idol or something, I feel like. But, like, just somebody, like,
Yeah.
for me to tattoo yours or something, like, I want to do a portrait, but, like,
shit, if you want,
Right,
you
I
really
mean-
love me.
but, you know, like, I know people who might have, like, a picture of, like, not just a portrait, but, like, a proper picture of, like, fucking Kobe or something. Because that
Yeah.
has more meaning to it, because
Right.
that's also, like, motivational and blah,
Right.
blah, blah. But just for somebody's face, like...
But I'm also like, you don't need
Especially
it.
if it's somebody that you know. Like, that's the same as having your
Yeah.
ex's name. Like, even if it's your, like, kid or something, like, just tattoo their name.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A girl had a, what's it called? A Ouija board? Ouija
Oh.
board on her back.
What the fuck? First of all,
Why are you trying to summon the demons
but
every
also,
day?
who's using it? It's on your back. You can't even use it yourself. Even if it was, like, here, like, you could use it yourself.
A Ouija
It's on your
board.
back, so you just be like, alright, let's do some. What
I
the
don't know.
fuck?
Like, what? I wish, like, I would want to know the thought process behind that
no,
tattoo.
literally. Because also, how often are you doing that? To need it with you every
Or,
day?
like, what meaning does it have to you for you to tattoo it on your back?
You got
Big
a
as
ghost
fuck,
friend or some shit?
If I saw that, I'd be scared.
Hell no, I feel like the demons are following me
Not
now.
for real. They probably attached to you.
Yeah. Shit, they're in your body.
That's what I'm saying. Nah,
Hell
I'd be
no.
gone. All right.
Bro, I'm just thinking, that was a girl, right?
Yeah.
Imagine you're a guy, and you take a girl home. You're about to do, like, back shots, and you see a Ouija board.
Girl, I can't.
Hell no.
Neck lipstick kiss marks.
Hit no.
You know when they be hiding it?
Yeah.
Ah! No, cause why?
No, just
Like why? What was the reason?
racist.
I don't get that. Well, like, what does
No.
that symbolize? You got hoes?
Right, you got
Good
bitches
for you.
like
no.
you don't got a tattoo. Just
No.
no.
Absolutely not. Okay.
That's like a hickey. That's literally you tattooed
It
a hickey
is.
on your neck.
And me too. Like, if
No.
you are older than, I don't know, 14,
Yeah.
you got a hickey.
It's also
No.
people who be like showing their hickeys off. Like they don't get a hickey and they're like,
I'm like,
like
that's
bitch,
gross.
it ain't nothing to
Why would
brag
somebody
about.
suck your foot? No.
Like-
Tattoos that are a red flag. Having tattooed the Punisher.
First of all, I already know you don't be punishing shit. You don't be doing shit.
Nah. If you have to tattoo that,
If
it
you
means
tattoo
ain't
anything, the
shit.
Punisher, Savage, anything like that, you're not it.
You're not it.
You're not it.
Because why'd you have to tattoo
No,
it?
you're not it. Because why are you trying to prove a
No.
point?
If you have a tattoo that says loyal, you ain't loyal.
You
for
ain't
shit.
loyal. Nah.
Ain't
If you
nothing
have to
loyal.
try to prove it to people, you're
No.
not that. Because when you are that, people will tell you you're
Right.
that. You don't have to tell them you're that.
Having only God can judge me. No, because I'll finally judge you for that tattoo.
That's just like, why did you have to get it tattooed though?
And for me, you know what that means? What that tells me? That tells me you do so much stupid shit that people will judge you for. So you gotta say, oh no, only God can judge
Right.
me.
I mean, it's one thing to say it, being a Christian. It's one thing to say shit like that. But to tattoo it, you're literally just justifying everything you do
Being
wrong.
yeah, exactly. And I'm finally judge you. Let me be the first to tell you. Okay, next one. It's a red flag. Like, not even like a joke. Like, a red flag. Teardrop under eye. That
No.
bitch killed somebody.
Yeah, that is literally,
That's
that's
not
not a
even
red flag. That's receipts.
Or
That's literally a receipt.
or when they some people have the little cross.
Yeah, that's a receipt.
Cause it is right. That's what
Yeah.
I think it is. You killed
Yeah.
somebody and you got
Yeah.
the amount of tear.
Yeah. And
They-
if you
and they
do that,
probably been-
and if you do that for fake reasons, like you didn't do that, and you still have it, it's
So
like,
you're psycho.
yeah,
You're still probably gonna kill somebody.
right. You're trying.
Right. No.
So I have a shorter thread, which is define your ex in one word.
Oof.
So I'm just gonna list the words, and we'll just
Lord.
roll with the bunches. First one, community. That bitch. Oh,
Community is crazy.
community is wild,
But facts. People
bro.
be people.
Nah, people be for the community.
If it's also after you know that,
Mm-hmm.
because if
Yeah.
you was there first, fine, whatever.
Right, but you know how people be delusional. They're like, nah, I'm gonna
show you
they've
some.
been for the streets, but I'm gonna make them fall in
Nobody
love with
gonna
me.
change
And
nobody.
no, you're not gonna change them until
If you're like
they're not done until they're done.
right, but also like if you're like past 25,
Yeah,
they are who they are.
yeah.
They're not gonna change.
But also, well, men do be growing up super late though. So if it's a man, but they not gonna change until they want to change.
right.
You not gonna change. Fucking stop trying to fix people. Like people be such Bob the Builders. You can't fix people. Literally. Not until they want to be fixed. You can be on somebody's side when they're trying to get their life together.
Right.
But you cannot force somebody to fucking fix themselves. Okay, second. Fuck. I'm gonna just start
Okay.
going. Okay. Replaced. Ooh.
Oh.
Dehydrated. That's bro, if my ex said that about me.
Dehydrated is crazy. That's rude.
Crazy.
I'll be like, what?
But then come back, Viagra. But I'm
Shit.
also like, I don't know if
God.
I could even say that about my ex because what does he say about me if my ex
No,
needed
but
Viagra?
guys be having problems.
I know, but still, I'm not putting it out there.
Oh no,
Hell no. Okay.
that's crazy.
Dead, literally.
Whoa.
I said, damn, why would you put it out there?
Quickly, because I was like, you dead to me.
Yeah. No.
in the
It's
ground.
not literally. No, he's literally
Oh,
are.
I mean, shit. Maybe it was for the best.
Right. I mean, I don't know if they broke up before or after, but shit. Okay. Next one. Streets. Pretty basic. Somebody said Streets was named after her. That means you're running the streets.
Yeah.
You're not
Nah,
just
that's
in the
your
streets.
street.
That's your
You are
fucking
this street.
No, having streets named after you, Nah, that
Nah,
shit,
that-
yeah, you are running
Yeah.
that bitch, okay?
Shit.
Shit, that's community. That's
It is,
community
yeah.
service.
No, for real.
It's community service. Okay. Musty.
Mm.
Sister.
Sweet home
Alabama. I don't know if it's like, were they like step siblings or did they become step siblings after? You know,
I
like
don't
if
care.
me and right, but
Oh, yeah,
imagine
yeah.
me and you had dated, we broke up, but now our parents know each other, and they're, let's say
Yeah,
like
they
my mom
dated.
and your dad was single, and they started dating because they met because
Mm-hmm.
we dated, and we're fucking exes and already don't fucking get along, and now we gotta play house.
No.
Hell, bro, if my mom ever did that to me,
Listen.
hell no. Luckily, my mom would never. Like, my mom is such a considerate person. Even if she fucking fell out, like, she would be like, "Are you okay with this?" Genuinely, even before she would ever fall in love or
Would you
date.
stand in the way of your mom's happiness, though?
Bro, depending on who it is. Somebody said expired. What does that even mean? That bitch old?
Right.
You dated somebody's
Cougar?
grandpa?
A
Like,
DILF?
does that mean dead?
No, what's it? GILF?
Yeah. Gil. Last one. Daughter-in-law.
I gotta think.
Daughter-in-law. This is a man's whose son is now married to that bitch. But is it so? Somebody's dad was dating somebody. And all of a sudden, they break up. And his son started, like, first of all, how old is she the dad's age or is she the son's age or somewhere in between? Because why are y'all both, bro? They're married. Daughter-in-law means they're married. They're not just dating. They're
Yeah.
married.
And she went and fucked your dad.
But that was
Or-
before. You married a bitch that had already dated your dad. This is the dad saying my ex is my daughter-in-law. The dad was in a relationship with the bitch and his son married her afterwards. Married. Imagine marrying a man your mom had dated.
Okay, I'm a.
What the? Because there is no fucking way I could ever, like, see them together again.
Listen. Y'all want to hear some crazy shit, though? So this happened in Sweden. Yeah, a parent, fucked somebody that their kid used to date.
Hell no. See, that's just...
So, you know. I could, like, how are you not grossed
And
out?
I know it happens.
No, but how are you not grossed out?
It's also when it's like the parent, like, I also know that there's been parents who fuck their kid's current partner, and I'm like, you're also the parent.
No.
One, you're fucking somebody your kid's age, somebody your kid is dating.
Yeah, that's
People
what
are
people do.
fucking
Cheating with,
wild.
Yeah, nah, people got no boundaries.
No.
No respect, nothing.
I
don't
can't
know
even.
what to
I
say.
can't even put a word for it. That's way beyond respect and boundaries. I don't even know. Like, how does one even be able to do it? How does one even convince themselves to do that?
Because people have no sense of fucking respect anymore. People just do whatever they want
That's
to do.
not
They don't
about
care.
respect. How do you get past the disgust and shit? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's way past
I
fucking,
know.
oh, just respect. Like,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to be able to do that.
No, that'd
Like,
be-
there
that
should be
is
something
gross.
in you that's like, no fucking way. The same way you can't fuck your sibling. You know, there's
Right.
just
Yeah,
something
yeah,
in
yeah,
you that
yeah.
would
That-
never fucking
yeah.
let you do that shit. Well, apparently in Alabama shit. I don't know. But, like, you know how there's
Not
something in your
everyone.
body that's just supposed
I
to
know.
stop
That's
that
what
shit.
I'm
Like, it's
saying.
not possible for you to go there.
But that's the same thing. You can even take it to the point of like who your friend's been dating.
Right.
Like for me, like if I know you've been like
Yeah.
I'm like I don't want to be there. Like
no,
I'm good.
what the fuck? Like, if I start dating your ex, what the fuck?
Also, you'd be crazy.
No,
But-
literally, because I'm like, first of all, I saw what he put you through. Why the fuck do I want to get in
But
there?
that's what I'm saying. In like it'll be something in me,
Right.
Just naturally being like,
No.
no.
And also, because, like, even if y'all just broke up because y'all just wanted to be friends and it's
Right.
all good and you, like, I have your
Right.
blessing, but, like, how the fuck am I supposed to date this and just be constantly thinking about how y'all were together,
Right.
how y'all were
Because
fucking.
you also saw us together, like
Right.
not like that, but you
Yeah.
saw we were in a relationship.
Yeah, we've been out, like,
Right.
you've been together, I've seen
Right.
y'all kissing, I've
And
seen
then
y'all
you
text.
go do that, and you how are you not gonna be like comparing everything?
No, the way I would be so, like, I
I
would,
could
like,
not.
the insecurities, like, and I'm not, like, a super insecure person, but the insecurities that would just creep up, like, oh, well, I wonder what you did. Like, if I
Right.
need to be more like you. Like, hell
I could
to the
not.
fucking nah. I don't know how people do that.
Anyways, that was it. Thank y'all for tuning in. Go follow us on Her Huddle.
And we're off the playoffs.
Bye.